Hey, this is Steve Vargo, and the question of the week this week is, how do I see more patients without losing my mind? And actually, the way that the doctor phrased this was, he said, I want to grow my business, I want to see more patients, but every time I think about doing that, I see an early casket, which is tragically comical. I think he meant it to be a joke, but the stress is all too real, right? So let's talk about that. Let's talk about 3 ways that you could grow your practice, you could see more patients without losing your mind. One is that in the first 2 minutes of talking to this doctor, I noticed the 2 words that he said about 8 times, and those words were I and myself. And he kept saying, I can't do this with just me, I can't do this by myself. And he's right. You do hit a point where you just can't do all of this by yourself and you need a team. And what I encourage him to do is start thinking of this less in terms of I and me and more in terms of we. Because you do hit a point by yourself where you are going to hit capacity, you need help, you need your team. And so we talked about staff training, staff delegation, adding more staff, setting goals, clarifying expectations, and making sure that you've really got the team that can help carry you to that next level. And secondly, efficiency is an issue. The question of, can you see more patients without compromising? Can you see more patients faster? Let's say that. More patients faster, but without compromising clinical care or the patient experience. And that's a really important caveat to add on, because we don't want to compromise that. We don't want to sacrifice service for revenues. So you look at things like, what could we delegate? What could we automate? What could we eliminate? What could we just stop doing that nobody would miss, that's not really adding any value? And that's really an exercise in time management and looking at how you spend your time and trying to create more time for the valuable things that you could do as a doctor, and potentially opening up more time to be able to spend seeing more patients. And thirdly was adding an associate, because as one person, as one doctor, you are going to hit a point where you do hit capacity. You're as staffed up as you can be. You're operating as efficiently and lean as you can, but you will hit a point eventually where you can only do so much on your own, and you eventually have to consider hiring an associate to see some of that patient demand that you're not able to see. And we can look at this on an office by office basis, but typically you start getting booked out a few days, certainly a week and beyond. We can usually start making a fairly good argument for bringing on an associate, at least on a part-time basis. So hopefully you found that helpful. We want to help you grow your business. We don't want to see you in an early casket, though. So hopefully if you found that helpful. This is Steve Vargo with IDOC. Have a great day.